Hi everyone, it's about 6:30 in the morning and today is the Friston Forest endurance ride. I'm doing the 34-kilometre pleasure ride as a dress rehearsal, so to speak, of the Devil's Dyke World Championship ride, which is next month. So I thought I'd bring you along to see what goes on. I'm still relatively new to endurance, so I don't profess to know everything, but I've learned quite a lot and I'd really like to share that with you. You ready? No, not quite. Once again, I've put too much water in his breakfast, but water's key. Need to muck out before we get going. First of all, I need to do his recovery mash. So in here, handful of recovery mash. Just going to fill it up with water. Boom. So I think I'm all packed. So let's run through everything. In here is some ice cubes to cool down his sloshing water post-ride. Also is my lunch. Yeah, really key that. Buckets, can't never have too many buckets. My hat, sunglasses, my water carrier. So in there I've got the still Lucozade. I'm not a big sweet drinker, but I find during rides I find that really refreshing and that helps. My stethoscope, of course it's orange. I can take his heart rate, lavender slosh, mainly for my benefit because I love the smell of it. More buckets, recovery mash, calming cookies. We won't need needing them today. And then in the apple lights tub is some treats. Got my saddle, my girth, my bit. So Deli travels in his endurance bridle, just the head collar bit, and then I clip this on when we get there. That's super useful and handy. Got his pre-ride feed, so this is as wet as it can be without being too messy, hopefully, fingers crossed. I always make it too wet, but you can't really have it too wet, you need hydration. And then my riding boots, water for sloshing, a rug just in case he gets cold, but I don't think that's going to happen. And that's the back part packed. I nearly forgot to open these windows. Super handy to help with airflow as we're travelling along. Oh, I do have a spare head collar, but you don't need that. Whee. So in the horse area, he's got his haylage net. Let's get this open. I think we'll need the clip today. Tie up. Super pleased that I chose the full wall for this build. Just means I've got loads of space in the horse area to tack up if the weather's bad, because Deli takes 5'9" rugs, and you'll see in a bit, he doesn't fill the space at all.
Loading Deli in a chifney because he did used to be very difficult to load. In the past, it has taken up to 3 hours to get him on the box. So I've worked a lot on his groundwork, and as well as making sure that he's happy to get in the box. But he does have a tendency to set his neck and bog off, so to speak. So I just use the chifney so that I've got a little bit more control. It hardly ever comes into play, but it just makes sure that it keeps him safe as well as me.
Thinks he loads of room. Headroom, length room, and one very happy pony. We can go endurance. I almost forgot the most important bit, a hoof pick. I'm gonna need my tie up as well.
Whilst Deli is waiting on the lorry, I do a quick muck out. I wish it was this quick in real life, but unfortunately not. Monday to Fridays, Deli is on livery because my job is pretty full on, so it's reassuring to know that he's getting all the care he needs should I not be able to make it up to the yard. However, I do seem to visit him every day, which is nice.
Okay, so we've just arrived at the Friston Forest ride, which is just outside of Eastbourne in East Sussex. It took me about an hour and 10 minutes to drive here. There was no traffic. I think I was the traffic. But yeah, Deli travelled really well. You can see him in the back through the window. Hi, Dubbers. Yeah, he travelled really well. So we're just chilling. We've got about 45 minutes until my start time. I've been to get my number. Here it is. I'm number 1. I don't think that's a ranking. It's definitely not a ranking. Probably because I am super organised and I always enter the minute the entry's open, so I was probably the first entry. And yeah, so I'm gonna give Deli his pre-ride feed, sort out my post-ride crewing spot. I don't have a crew, so basically all I do is I get all my water out, pop it in the buckets, everything accessible, so then when I get back I can strip off his tack and wash him down and get him as cold as quickly as possible. So yeah, I better have some breakfast myself, keep the energy levels up, and I'm really worried about the ground. As you know, it's not been the best recently, so I am just gonna ride the conditions that I've got, basically. You know, I have this goal that I want to ride this ride to 10 kilometers an hour as my average speed, but you know, that isn't set in stone. Bits of the ride where it's really, really hard and you wouldn't want to do much more than a walk, so that's what I'm going to do. But then there's bits through the forest, or the bits in that have really good grass covering, would allow for some faster speed to make up the time. So yeah, hopefully it all goes well, cross fingers. I really get nervous for endurance. I really enjoy it, and yeah, I'm just itching to get out there and enjoy the route. I think it's the same route that we rode last year. Last year I only did the 24, so this time it's got the extra loop on. Or was it 22? I can't remember. And yeah, I'm the first one here because I'm always super early. And yeah, so hopefully it goes well. I feel like I'm saying hopefully a lot. Right, I'll see you in a bit. You're right, little man. Yeah, so whilst Deli is enjoying his pre-ride feed, I will have my own breakfast. Just checking my ice cubes are still frozen, which is good. But I guess that's the beauty of endurance, is that the horse's welfare is always the top priority. So you see that promoted through the pre-ride vettings, post-ride vettings, heart rates, and also there's an upper speed limit. So you know, if you go beyond a certain average speed, you're not really gaining anything. So yeah, it's really key to the sport to make sure that the horse's welfare is paramount. You know, top of our priority. and we're off. Having a little jog up this steep hill. Good boy. I don't know if you can see from the camera just how steep these hills are. So this is the beautiful South Downs. It's a national park in the southeast of England where we are lucky to have lots and lots and lots of beautiful views and off-road riding. Stunning. So this is how I hope to spend most of the ride, a lollopy trot with on a loose rein, enjoying these views. How stunning is that? Behind these cute little black fell pony ears. Good boy. Oh, change back. It's a bit hard on the soft. So I found some good grass covering up here. If I keep off the track, I can't hear his hooves at all. Good boy. So I'm following these signs telling me what way I can go. So you probably, sorry it's a bit bumpy, you probably can see that I'm changing my diagonal every 10 or 20 strides. This just helps keep the pony even, so you're not working one rein more than the other, and just make sure that they're using all muscles evenly. Right, I'm going to switch off. Got some riders up here. On top of the world, literally. Like, there's a sea over there. And then more sea over there. How stunning is this? Right, Deli, we've got to tackle this gate. Good boy, good boy. So the majority of my rides are on a loose rein with no contact and hardly any leg really. He's so keen. I just let him dictate the speed. I might choose the pace once in a while, but the effort is up to him. Standing up here. Oh, boy, just look at that. How pretty. Such a shame it's so brown because we haven't had any rain for a while. He's bouncing, he wants to go again. Because we haven't had any rain in a while. All the grass has gone brown. There's some sheepy in there if you can see them. Deli hasn't spotted them. I hope they don't jump out, because that'll be me falling off. But yeah, I'm really hoping we have some rain soon. This is terrible. Because you think of it when the grass is this brown and dry. It doesn't have much nutrients in it for the animals to eat, but good boy. Also, yeah, it's slippery, mate, isn't it? But also, there's the fire risk. it's really worrying. We're about coming up to 5 kilometres, and we seem to have joined an ultra running race, which has perked Delhi up no end. And here I was before saying how I don't really ride with a contact, and now when I was trotting at like 15 kilometres an hour, which was quite a fair push, having to have a contact, because ideally for endurance you don't want them to go as fast as they possibly can. You want to maintain a steady rhythm, a steady speed. Obviously not a dressage trot or whatever, but a ground covering trot. But yeah, it's warming up. I am kind of missing a crew right now. So they would be people at checkpoints along the route who would park up with water and food for you and the horse, and give you a slosh and something to eat. I don't have that, unfortunately. Yeah. Generally it's not needed for the shorter distances that I do. I think anything over about 35-40 kilometres you'd want a crew. It's just because today's quite warm. But in the run up to the ride, I made sure I'd made sure that he was as hydrated as possible, so he wants to join the runners. So what you feed them 3 days before a ride is generally the fuel that they use on the ride. So since the early start of last week, I've been making sure his feeds are extra wet, feeding him electrolytes, and making sure that he's got plenty of haylage to eat, just to keep his gut moving. Right, I better turn this off because he's starting to bounce. What a good boy. You earned that drink, Del Bell. Hey? Yeah, you did. You earned that. So we just finished the ride. I'm sorry I didn't film any of our post-ride cool down for you, but I was a bit embarrassed because someone came over to help me, and yeah, good boy. So I used my ice cubes that I've been storing up to make the water super cold, so that I could wash him off, and just made sure that you just keep throwing water, more and more water. You can't throw, on a day like today, you can't throw enough water at them because they need to cool down as quickly as possible. He came home super calm, and was yeah, really chilled, which is great, because sometimes because we came in with a group of 3 other horses, sometimes when he comes in a group like that he does get excited, and so that kind of over exasperates his heart rate, which is not the best, because you want to keep everything calm to get that heart rate down as quickly as possible. But he cooled down really quickly considering how warm it is right now. I had a helper, so that was lovely to help me untack and wash him off. And then I checked his feet as well. So the number 1 rule here is always remember hoof pick, because I found quite a big rock stuck in his foot, which if this was a vetted ride, then there's potential that he could have trot up lame with that. He didn't feel lame whilst we were riding, which was perfect, but that's always the possibility if you haven't checked their feet, that there might be something stuck in there that's causing them a little bit of discomfort. So I've removed that, which is great, and now I'm about to have some lunch and a drink myself. I'm super happy with how he rode. We managed to trot a lot more than I was expecting, despite the ground being hard. In places there's like lots of grass coverage, which is fantastic, so that gives a great cushioning on top of the hard ground. So that allowed us to trot quite a lot of it actually, and some of it quite fast, as we came across an ultra running race, which was interesting. And then so I'm really pleased with him. We did 32 kilometers and my watch was saying an average speed of 9.5, which I think with the gait allowance brings us quite close to the 10k that I was aiming for, which I'm really pleased with. So now I'm going to have some lunch, have a drink, and then take my bib back and get a pretty rosette. So we drove home, and then whilst I was sorting out the lorry and his bed for the night, I popped him out for a couple of hours so that he could stretch his legs and chill a bit before spending the night in. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I'd love it if you could subscribe. Take care everyone and have fun.